Welcome back to the CNT podcast. Today we got me, Justin Yomort, and I'm here with.
Dylan Traeger, thank you, Justin, for having me this week.
Looking forward to it. Been a little bit busy with college, I assume.
It has been a bit. I'm starting an internship this week doing sports podcasting. So it's been a little busy,
Nice,
but
nice.
I got to know the home roots. Always got to come back to the podcast
Oh yeah,
every now
of
and then.
course.
hmm
We love having you.
Thank you. I love being here.
You want to get into thought of the week?
I would love to. I was on TikTok last night, and this guy was on TikTok. I saw a content guy saying this is his pick for AL MVP. Let me turn my little lamp on so you can see better. Eloy Jimenez, Panini Crusade
Nah.
rookie, Purple Mojo out of 75. I'm just going to say the proof is in the pudding. If you look at the stats per like 162 games, he hits 300 with 40 home runs. This guy who I was watching last night, he's verified, very credible. He was saying he thinks in a healthy season, Jimenez hits 300, 40 home runs, 110 runs, 120 RBIs. I'd love to see it. I know you would as a Cubs fan as well.
Uh I'm not like rooting against him, but I'm not the biggest fan of his.
I'm gonna say this, like we can come back to this later. If he has a healthy season, I do think he's gonna hit 300 to 40 home runs. Is he gonna have a
300 to
yeah?
40 home runs.
He hit 295
Oh,
with
I'm an idiot. You mean batting average?
yeah. Um, I
Sorry.
mean, in an injury season last year, he hit 300 with 20 home runs. He played nothing last year. I don't think he's gonna stay healthy. I really don't. I don't see it. But if he does, I think the American League's in some trouble.
I just want to take a minute to apologize. It's been a long day. It's been finals week for me in high school, which probably doesn't relate to anything to finals in college, but I mean it's been a long week. I made a mistake. I misunderstood.
You're good. You're good.
So today we're talking about the Old Timers Day game. Sometimes some people call it the Old Timers Day. I usually refer to it as the Old Timers Game. So I'm just give a little background to those who don't know. The Old Timers Day or Old Timers Game is refers to the tradition in the MLB where teams would play in like old uniforms and like just it'd be an old timers game, but it was recently disbanded. Not recently, kind of a while ago, but the Yankees still do it every year. And so today we're going to be talking about why the MLB should bring it back for everyone.
Yeah, personally for me, and this topic I never thought about.
I gotta apologize again. I was connected to the wrong Wi-Fi. We're back now. Shouldn't have any more cuts. Dylan, let's get back to what you were saying.
So I'm on TikTok this week, and I'm going to give credit to Made the Cut Baseball on TikTok for this. I just saw a little video about this highlight from the Old Timers game, which gave me the idea of this. But Made the Cut Baseball brings up the idea. Luke Appling in 1982. Remember Luke Appling, old time player?
A little bit.
So in 1982, he was 75 years old, and he was in the Old Timers game representing the American League. He hit a legitimate home run 300 feet left field over the fence. 75 years old. He only hit 40 home runs in his career, and that home run was off Warren Spahn, 300 feet from home, from a 75-year-old. I think this blows my mind. And for me personally, I think the MLB could easily sell out an entire stadium doing an old timers game. They can make a ton of money off tickets, merchandise, TV views, just like Field of Dreams. Tons of revenue to bring in. I think lots of players would be willing to play because maybe their kids or grandchildren didn't get to play. Uh, and some guys have juice in the tank, like I saw Nolan Ryan at 7 years old. He threw a first pitch and it came off at 75 miles an hour. I think a lot of these guys can hang in for a
Mhm.
game. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think someone like Ken Griffey Jr., I mean, he might not be old enough yet. He kind of retired more recently. I think about 10 years ago, maybe 11 years,
Yeah.
coming up this year. So he might not be old enough to qualify, but I guarantee you in like 20 years time, he'd want to go play another game, try and
And if he
just
could
see
play with
what
his
he
dad
has.
too. Like,
He
what
could
if
play
he
with
and his
his dad
dad?
again. Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
I bet you, senior probably, yeah, Ken Griffey Jr. Ken Griffey Senior would probably be more in the age range if we brought it back now. I'm sure. I mean, I don't know as much about senior as I do junior, but I'd be confident that any old player who just wants to like relive the moment of playing would want to come back to play, even if it's just one more time.
Exactly. And obviously, there has to be a rule on restriction on age. Like, I don't think you can put Miguel Cabrera in the game after he's a year retired. I mean, you can't
Right.
do that. But I think having this during All Star Weekend as another event would be very cool. Definitely something I'd vouch for and support and watch. I mean, to be honest, what could be cooler than having like Frank Thomas and Big Poppy on the AL team together, like betting against Randy Johnson on the NL team? Like, I think this could be really
That would be
cool.
great. I would
The
love that
guy,
idea. I
the
love that
guys
idea
like,
of
yeah, the guys we grew up watching to see them play like one more game every year. I think that'd be really cool.
I love the idea of putting it with All Star Weekend because I I'm gonna take a little tangent and talk about All Star Weekends because all the major sports need to up it. NFL, the Pro Bowl, horrible.
Awful, awful. I don't
It's
watch it.
awful.
It's not even
It's
a game
awful.
this year. I think it's like a Madden game or
Yeah,
something they simulate.
it's like it's awful. It's
I mean,
simple
I
as
get
like
it. There's a lot of injuries and the guys don't try, but like same with the NBA All Star game. The way they changed it to
NBA
get
All
like
Star. I like how they do it.
I
But
I
what I
I
have a
don't
problem
know.
is the skills competition. No one really watches the 3-point
It's
contest. I love
awful.
it.
Yeah.
I like the 3-point contest. The dunk contest is horrible now.
Hmm.
It's horrible now.
I think
And then
things need to change. Yeah.
MLB has the best one, but still, like I feel like it kind of lacks a little flair. I mean, the home run derby, amazing. It's perfect. Don't change a thing. Celebrity All Star Game, I don't really think anyone really watches.
Well, I
Like,
agree with that because I think they need better celebrities, which they definitely
yeah,
can do. Like
but like
one
the
year they
old
had
timers
like
game would be
that's
much
something
more
good.
watchable.
Yes, yes. Like I'm a big sports fan. I watch all the All Star events, but like the home run derby, I watch from start to finish. The All
Hmm.
Star game, I'll watch 2 innings and then I'll leave it running and not pay attention or I'll turn it off.
Exactly. That's
The
another problem.
softball
Is
game, I don't watch the softball game because they don't have anyone good in it.
I mean, I'm
Like
gonna watch the softball game this year because I'll be there because it's in Seattle. So I'll
right.
watch it this year, but that's just simply because I'm gonna be there, and that's
But they
totally
have a
different.
terrible lineup every year.
Hmm.
At least like this old timers game, this could even be the softball game.
Yeah,
Like even get rid of the celebrity softball game, make the old timers game an old timers softball game. Like no injuries will happen. I mean, it gets rid of something no one watches and
hmm,
puts a brand new thing in. I think
I
it's the
agree.
best case scenario.
I agree. And then the futures game, I like how that's done fine. Because like only the huge fans are gonna sit down and truly watch the prospects play for 9 innings. But the All Star
Right.
game, so they gotta do something like I love baseball as much as the next guy, but if you really want to get the views up, you have to like at least make the All Star game like a little more fast paced, like add something to it. Like
Definitely. And I personally I don't watch the futures game, but I'm in full support of it.
I watch
Giving
bits and
these young
pieces.
guys I think giving these young guys an opportunity to be in the be in the highlights, like be under like the lights for one night. I think it's a big thing, and it gives kind of the fans a perspective on who's going to be good in the next few
Hmm.
years, who you should keep an eye out for. I love the futures game, but as you said, I think a lot of the major sports need to re up the
Hmm.
All Star weekend.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, change. I mean, the MLB All Star game, it's great and all, but like, I mean, it's in the middle of the year. Like, I've been watching a ton of baseball up until then. Like, they gotta. I get it. It's all the best players, but they gotta add some sort of flair. Like, make it somehow go a little faster. Like, make it more fast paced and upbeat. Because not only will that bring more people to watch the All Star game, it just like it gives you like a change in the type of games you are watching.
I'm also going to be honest. I think they need to get rid of fan voting for all
Oh yes,
sports.
yeah.
I think you could look at NBA and see that Zion Williamson, who barely plays, is a starter on the All Star team. I don't like that. Sticking to MLB though, I think fan voting is awful. There's so much
Mhm.
bias in it. Like when the Cubs were on their good playoff stint, they had like a whole all-star infield
Yeah,
team of Cubs players, which
and like
yeah, it doesn't
they all
it's not fair.
they did. I would say all of them deserved it except for Addison Russell, but none of them. I
Right.
don't think as many of them that started should have gotten to start.
I agree. And
I do
I
think
think
a
it should
good
be
portion of them did deserve it, but they don't need to all start.
in my opinion, for the MLB, players should have a vote. Like the whole voting system should be players, like front office executives, coaching staff. I'd even give guys in the Hall of Fame a vote for it. I think their
Mm.
vote is very credible and legit. I just don't like the fan vote. Like I think the
However,
fact that Dylan Cease wasn't an All Star last year, yet he came second in Cy Young voting. I mean,
laughable. It's laughable, but at the
it's
same
disrespectful.
time, giving the fans a chance to vote. So here's what I think should be: is everyone who has, besides fans, like everyone you said who should get a vote gets a vote. They vote on the teams, but then the fans get to vote on the starters, so they still have some control over it.
I think starters, that's a good vote. Uh, I definitely think the MLB should have full say though on who gets to be in the game,
I
while the
agree.
fans can pick who gets to start the game.
hmm
And I think the MLB should also be in vote of who gets to be on like the reserve list. You know, like if a reserve gets injured, like JD Martinez, who's going to fill in for him? I don't think the
hmm
fans should have a vote on that. You know,
I agree. I really think like the MLB should pick the best players they make the team, and then the fans vote on who starts, and then the manager
right?
like they can pull them as they please, but like still let the fans have some control, but stop giving them too much control.
I'd say the same thing on like award voting too. For most sports, like I think a lot of awards voting too,
hmm
which I'm not a fan of. I think that's solely should be, players, executives, Hall of Famers.
Yeah, I think like as great as these games are, like the voting aspects and everything is just so bizarre and so messed up and not good.
Right. Well, you can look at like Canada for an example. If you're a Toronto fan, you've got an entire country voting for the Blue Jays, voting for the Raptors,
I mean,
and
going back to the NBA a couple years ago, Zaza Pachulia made the All Star game, almost was a starter simply because his home country. They were all voting for him and him alone.
right. Did they overturn it or was he in the game?
I believe they overturned it.
Yeah. Well, I
It
mean,
was
like
it
you
was
look
before
at
I was
it,
like really into the NBA, so I don't fully remember, but I think it was overturned.
we look at it now, like Austin Reeves has more votes than like Zach Levine, and it's like it doesn't make sense. You can look at even the player voting. I was looking at player voting today. Players were voting for like Udonis Haslam, like Lucas Samanik, Luca Garza, Rui. They're voting for guys who would never be in the game, which I don't understand. I think like some guys are voting for their friends, but that stuff needs to be overturned. And that's thing on the commissioner's end.
Yeah, I get it, like wanting to support your friends and all, straight and all, but like the All Star game should just be the best of the best players playing. It's as simple as that. And like,
I think it's very repetitive. Like I personally don't look forward to it anymore. Like growing up, I always looked forward to the All Star game and watching it and seeing like my favorite players playing against each other. But now it's just another game.
I'll be honest, I don't look forward to the Pro Bowl at all. I don't watch it, and I don't really think
I
I ever
never have.
have.
Yeah,
Basketball, I used to look forward to the dunk contest when like Aaron Gordon and Zach Levine were running it. Now I don't.
they ruined it. Yeah.
Yeah, I do look forward to the 3-point contest. I do think that's really great. And I do still look forward to the home run derby because the home run derby, it's great. I would say it's as good as it can be. I would say the home run derby is perfect.
No, I agree. The home run derby should be kept how it is.
But
I like that they pick who pitches. Yeah.
the game itself, like obviously I'm super excited this year because it's in Seattle. I'm in Seattle. Like it's different, but like most years, it's just like an add-on to the home run derby. Like the home run derby to me is the main event. The 3-point contest to me is the main event. The NFL does
Right.
not really have a main event because everything about the Pro Bowl sucks.
Well, the NFL one sucks. The Pro Bowl's awful. They have some sort of skills competition. I've been watching videos of it. Guys throwing
They had
footballs at
like
targets.
dodgeball. They had dodgeball last year.
They used to have about 15 years ago, they'd have like a longest ball where you throw the longest ball. Like that was cool.
That could be entertaining.
And
Like They could make it good. They just don't.
I mean, I would love to see, Brady, Rodgers, Mahomes, Herbert, Burrow going up against each other, saying who can throw the ball the furthest. Like
Fields,
that's something I'd watch. Yeah, no, he wouldn't be in that.
he will be soon. MVP type
Mm,
season coming.
not when he doesn't throw the ball.
He has no offensive line and no one to throw to. Like
He
he's
had an
made.
offen- he had an offensive line.
Mm, he had like when he had time in the pocket and his receivers got open, he had some good throws.
I mean, he had like Jimmy Graham last year and like Allen Robinson, and he chose
Allen
not to target them.
Robinson.
He chose to
Allen
never target
Robinson.
Allen Robinson. He never targeted him.
He, he didn't have Allen Robinson last year. That was 2 years ago, I think.
Whatever it was, he never targeted him.
That would have been. I don't think Fields played with Robinson, did he? Because Robinson spent the past 2 years
I thought he did.
on the Rams. I thought he did too, but this really Fields' third year? I thought it was his second. This was
Robinson,
Robinson's second year with the Rams.
no, this is first season.
The Rams.
He signed a contract in March of 22.
I'm losing it.
You've had a long week, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, you're making me like confused over
Yeah,
myself.
no, I am awfully silly. Yeah, no, 'cause I was thinking fantasy wise, because he sought 2 years in fantasy. I thought it was both with the Rams, but no, he went to the Rams and he was supposed to be good in fantasy, but he wasn't.
Right. Well, this is yeah. He did have he had Robinson his first year,
He didn't
and
really. I'll be the first. He didn't play good his first year. The throws I'm talking about came this year. I do think he can improve as a thrower, but like he has shown flashes that he can be an elite thrower. That's the point I'm making.
like they brought the targets in. Like I think Cole Kmet's a very established tight end.
Oh, I love
Uh,
Cole Kmet.
they
I love
had
Cole
they
Kmet.
brought in Claypool, who was playing very well, and he never got targeted. I mean, they had the guys, and I think it was on Fields in the O line.
I don't know. I feel like I feel like Claypool and Mooney, as good as they aren't true wide receiver ones. Like I feel like if he had like a DeAndre Hopkins or Stephon Diggs, I feel like things would be a lot different.
I think if any team had those guys, it's a different story.
Exactly. I
I
mean,
mean, you can give Nathan
think
if you
about
give
all
Nathan
the great
Peterman the ball.
QBs.
If you give Nathan Peterman the ball and you let him throw to Stephon Diggs, I think it's a different story.
I mean, if we put it this way, that we've gotten off the rails way too much. Without Tommy here, we go off the rails way too much and way too often. But if you put it this way, think about all the great young QBs. They all have a top 20 wide receiver weapon. The Bears don't. And that's why like feels like he's not playing phenomenal. Like he's like a top 2 rushing QB currently, but he's like probably a bottom 15 passing QB. But he can be that top 15 passing QB if he could get a true weapon. His offensive line could be a little bit better.
Well,
It's
I
just
think
like
I think he has the weapons, and I don't just he doesn't throw the ball. Like he's got the guys to throw it to, and they've been bringing guys in, and it doesn't work with any of them.
I don't know.
Like
I think
Harry didn't work, Mooney didn't work,
okay,
Claypool didn't work.
Nikhil Harry, like we gave up a seventh for him. He was never gonna be the big guy target.
I liked him. That
I
was a
like
good
him
meal.
too, but I mean, Claypool, I feel like it's been too short of time to really see. Mooney, I feel like they've had a good connection, but it's just like none of them can create true separation, it feels like.
I think Deontay Johnson's gonna be a bear.
Deontay Johnson, I
I
feel
could
like
see it.
pairing him with like a Jackson Smith and the Jeep, someone he had within college, could be huge.
I feel like bring him back with Claypool, like it worked in Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Maybe.
why can't it work here?
It could. I personally would rather go in that Jackson Smith and Chiba. They played with each other in college, and those connections have worked so well in the
Hmm.
MLB, in the NFL lately. And so let's get off of football though. Pro Bowl still sucks. Bears Still suck, but they're on the come up. Yeah, I mean the old timers game. Getting back to the true topic, it was really it's a great concept, and honestly, maybe not get rid of the celebrity softball game, but maybe just like add another day of festivities and fun, and include an old timers softball game.
Right. And I think it definitely could work. I mean, all these guys who are TV analysts for MLB Network, whatever, they're all baseball all stars or Hall of Famers. If they're sticking around the game to talk about it, why wouldn't they play? I'm sure
Exactly.
A-Rod, John Smoltz, all these guys, I'm sure, Frank Thomas,
Cheetor.
David Ortiz, I'm sure they'd all come back and play a game.
I mean, Forty Jenkins is on the older side, but like he's always posting about baseball. Like I wouldn't be put it against him to want to
He
come back and
posted about the
play.
old timers game. He said he wants it back.
Exactly, exactly. I
I
mean,
would love to see Fergie Jenkins go
I
out there on
love
the
Forty
mound.
Jenkins. I saw him at an Aqua Sox game of all places in Everett
I
Aqua Sox game, and he was there.
I
Isn't
could
that
see
like
him
a
coming
random
out.
place for him to go?
I definitely could see him like pitching like one batter and then coaching the game.
Yeah, I love Forty Jenkins.
What's he
But
doing in
like,
Everett?
I don't know.
What
I
was he
was
doing
really
in
young.
Everett?
I was really young, so I don't remember. I just remember going to the game and Funko, again, me and my brother Jacob were young. I think he's like probably like 10. I'm probably like 7. So we're not actually like watching the game. We're out in the field right there, like playing catch, running around. He goes running. He sees. He doesn't. I don't know if he knew who 40 Jenkins was or he saw the former MLB player for the Cubs there signing autographs, but like he saw it and thought, and so we got autographs from him, and it's just it was funny. I think he was there. I think it was like for uh an event with a local or a business, and he just happened to be there. But I just
Yeah,
like I
when I was
vividly
at
remember it.
Field of Dreams over the summer, I was walking in the concourse and I saw him, Giovanni Soto, and Carlos Zambrano all sitting together. So I went up to them. I asked for Fergie Jenkins to sign my ball. He signed on the sweet spot. I asked for Zambrano to sign my ball. He signed it, and I don't think Soto was worth getting out of ball.
Oh, I love Soto.
I didn't think he was worth getting on like a brand new MLB baseball alone, to be honest.
Probably
I
not.
mean, like, yeah, I give him full respect. Like, he wasn't all. I think he was rookie of the year. He was a great
Mhm.
catcher. Didn't last too long, but he was a great player.
Did you have
I'm
him
not a
sign
Cubs fan.
anything? Did you have him sign
No,
anything?
I,
So
I
you walk up to two of the guys, get their address, but not.
I have his autograph. I've got like a framed picture of him signed. To get on a baseball, it doesn't mean anything, and I only have so many
I
balls with me. I'd
I
rather wait and
don't
see if I meet anyone
disagree.
else.
I
Because, like,
don't disagree. It's just like I find that kind of funny. He went to two of the
yeah,
three guys. Like
but
I
like,
don't
figure this.
disagree.
Like I saw Frank Thomas 5 minutes later, and imagine I got that ball signed by Giovanni Soto. Then I saw Frank Thomas and didn't have anything for him.
That's
I saw
true.
David Ortiz that day. Imagine I got somebody Soto, didn't have a ball for Ortiz. I'd be probably punching the air. Like,
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree.
mhm. I
I
mean,
think
if he
that's.
played, if I was a Cubs fan, it's a different story.
But you're a White Sox fan. You choose to root for the bad Chicago team.
Yeah, that's why Eloy Jimenez is the dark horse for the AL MVP.
That's why you guys missed the playoffs when you were supposed to win your division.
It's all right. We got this year with Mike Clevenger on the mound. We're gonna be unstoppable.
Mike Clevenger might not play.
I I don't think he's gonna play a game for the Sox, and I think we're gonna sign Michael Waka,
Michael Walker.
who I am perfectly okay with pitching for us. I'm very comfortable with him. I'm hearing rumors that Michael Waka or Zach Greinke will be our fifth starter this year.
Ranky wouldn't be bad.
Mm, at that point, I'd probably rather give the ball to a younger guy.
Yeah.
Like we've got this one guy, Davis Martin, who was a
Oh, I
rookie
like
last year.
Martin. I like Martin.
He was very okay, and I'd rather give the ball to him. He's 24, 25, than give it to 40-year-old Zach Greinke, who's probably going to have a
40.
Dallas. He's going to have a Dallas Keuchel season next year.
Oh, but you're the biggest Dallas title fan.
Never, never.
Never.
I liked him when he had his like borderline Cy Young year in his first year with the Sox, and then after that, it was all downhill. He's being scouted right now by teams for contract.
Oh, he shouldn't be.
It's absurd.
I think this is where we're gonna end it on Dallas title being bad. It said stealing up for a phenomenal sign. Do you remember how to do it?
Subscribe to the CNT podcast,
So listen to the sign, or
or else the Cubs won't make the playoffs this year.
no, I was thinking for the listen to the sign, or your favorite team will sign Dallas title.
Listen to the sign, or else the Mariners or the Cubs will sign Dallas Keuchel.
Oh, you better listen to it. I do not want to see Dallas title play, not even a little bit.
Yeah, it's basically you go into the game, you know he's given up 9 runs in the first 2 innings.
And then your team will leave him in for another 3 or 4, hold up another 10.
Yeah, that's
And
how
then
it
you'll
is.
lose. And then you'll lose, just like the White Sox lost a lot last year.
All right, you gotta relax, dude.
It's funny because I'm a Cubs fan and they lost even more than the Sox did. Well, hey, congratulations on the new internship with the New Sports Podcast.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Thank you.
You better not give them any of our secrets.
The one secret I'm gonna tell them is subscribe to the CNT podcast.
Ah, I like that secret. That secret can
That-
be given up to anyone.
That's a really good one.
Yeah. But good job on that. I mean, you're killing it. I mean, you're at Indiana, one of the best broadcasting schools.
Thank you, thank
You're
you.
killing it. We love having you on. We get it's not always going to be frequent, but you really are killing it. We love having you on.
Appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Thank you all for watching. We'll see you next week.